there, folks. Here we are, back in action, ready for kicking ass. And what do you know? Today's lesson is advanced pouring tips and tricks. Picking up where we left off about a month ago. We'll get into that here with another video. I haven't been feeling well, so welcome back to the School of Rockin' Agar, and here's our first video back. Much love, folks. The prep stage. Make sure you clean those media bottles well, rinse them out, and get all those old chunkies from the last batch out. Same with your rings, your magnets, and your lids. Sometimes on those lids you'll get some little chunkies hiding in the corner. Make sure you scrape them out. You don't want them pouring out in your next batch. Then at that prep stage of melting in, you get some chunkies up near the top. Especially if you use that microwave, it might turn them into something ugly. Sterilization cycles. Make sure you watch those temperatures, run a full cycle. Don't pull off that weight before your time runs up to get that pressure down. Don't do any of that. Run it normal and watch them sterilization times. If your PSI gets too high or your rocker gets to rocking too hard, then you might be too hot, and that can cause caramelization, and we don't want to see those ugly chunkies, do we? What to watch for when pouring. Bubbles come to mind when I think of pouring troubles. Too hot or too cool can often be to blame. Too hot because the agar will be too viscous, and too cool because it'll have chunkies, which then create the bubbles as they plop. An uneven pour edge, which can be the result of just using a makeshift bottle or a jar, can happen. If you kind of tilt your bottle back and twist as you pull it away, that can help. Often also if you tilt back quickly when you're done pouring that plate, it will prevent that last little droplet from hitting your plate and going plop and making it ugly. Condensation! Are your plates swimming in water? Perhaps you're pouring too hot. Pour below 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 48.5 C for best effect. If you got a still air box, I'd go a little lower at 115 or 46 C. And ventilate those puppies well. 2 to 3 hours in front of the flow hood is what I like to do. Turn them a quarter turn every 30 minutes or so until they're completely clear before I wrap them out. Be careful leaving them in front of the flow hood too long. They will dry out, they will crack, and they will turn into agar chips. And they don't taste good without salt. Less common things to look for, like unlevel plates. If your agar's thin on one side, your mycelium could grow in really wispy and make you think it's contaminated when in fact it is not. Overpouring. When you pour too fast and the agar splashes up the side of your dish and dries, it can cause tension and make your agar crack later on, and it's unsightly. Drips. If you have drips, they can cause bubbles, so you want to try and pull your bottle away and allow it to drip on the table away from your plates, and rather than get inside and mess it up potentially. Otherwise, just get yourself a fancy pour ring or a media bottle that can help to eliminate that a little bit, but you know what? It's just aesthetic. It isn't going to hurt anything. Did you end up with chunkies anyway? Throw your bottle on a magnetic stir as it cools, and it'll just look like this instead of looking like ass.